When Susan and her family first moved onto their rural property, they were greeted by the surprise presence of a few resident peacocks already living on the land. These elegant birds roamed freely, and before long, they started multiplying. One of the peahens had built a nest in the garden, quietly sitting on a clutch of eggs for weeks. Susan watched her carefully, fascinated by the process. But then one day, everything changed. The eggs hatched, except for one. That single egg lay alone, untouched, and the mother peahen had disappeared with her new chicks, leaving it behind, as if it were forgotten. Susan couldn't bear the thought of a living creature being left to die, warm and full of promise. It just needed a chance. Susan thought about what to do. She had one broody hen at the time, a tiny bantam named Susan as well, who had recently gone broody and was longing to hatch something. The match was unlikely, a small chicken and a large peafowl egg, but she trusted her little hen's nurturing instincts. She placed the egg beneath her gently and watched as Susan the hen accepted it without hesitation, snuggling it beneath her soft feathers as if it were her own. Days passed, and then the miracle happened. A little peafowl chick hatched, fragile and wide-eyed, chirping for comfort. Despite the obvious size and species difference, the chick, soon named Peawee, imprinted completely on his adoptive mom. From that moment forward, Susan and Peawee were inseparable. As Peawee began to grow, it became clear he was no ordinary chick. Within weeks, he started outgrowing his mother, his legs becoming longer, his neck more elegant, and his tail feathers fluffing out in ways the other chickens never experienced. Still, he remained glued to Susan's side. He'd follow her every move, pecking the ground where she pecked, copying her dust baths, and attempting to nest beside her even though he no longer fit under her wing. Introducing Peawee to the rest of the flock was a concern at first. Peacocks, by nature, are different in behavior and communication than chickens. However, Susan was a surprisingly fierce mother. Despite being the smallest hen in the coop, she confidently led Peawee around, and the other chickens quickly got the message. This was her chick, and he was under her protection. Remarkably, the flock accepted Peawee without much fuss. Over time, he developed his own quirky personality, sometimes bold, sometimes awkward, but always full of charm. It was especially entertaining to see a towering peacock dutifully following a tiny bantam hen around the garden, as if she were the queen of his world. Their story is more than just about a chicken and a peacock. It's about what happens when someone takes a chance on life, when love replaces logic, and when nurturing is guided by the heart, not the eyes. Susan and Peawee remind us that sometimes the most extraordinary families come from the most unexpected beginnings.